just like how anything in this world has a name and that name can be identified by its image, it's the same way you have to understand that mathematics has a name, right? So you should be able to identify those names by what? Its image. Now here we are having a gradient. So who do you call a gradient? The gradient here is this boy, right? So the boy here by name gradient is the gradient by name m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus of x1. So this is the name of the gradient here. So that is the image. You should be able to identify this image here by what? By its image, right? So let's see how to use this guy to solve this type of problems that we are having here. So in this question we are having two different guys over here. So by name what? E and what? And F. So this guy here comes with what? 5 comma what? 0, and then we have F also to be of 0 comma 2. Okay, so assuming here the first person, you see this guy here is F, right? So it came with what? Two things. So the first thing here is what? Its first name, and then the second here is what? The surname, just by assumption, right? Just to remember that those people, they don't work alone, they work by what? The first name and what? The second name. So what I mean by the first name and second name is that is the first number here and then what? The second number, right? So mathematically this is what? X what comma y. Is that okay? Alright, so we are having two things. They say you should find the gradient of these two guys. Your key here is that you should know exactly who is the gradient. As I explained earlier on here, you are having the gradient to be what? Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus. So this is what we call the gradient. You should know this guy, right, before you should be able to solve this type of problem here. Now where is the y2 coming from? Where is the y1, the s2 and the s1 coming from? So all that matters is you see that we are having two different people. This is the first person, this is the second person here. So here will be my what? My x2 and what? The y2 and then y1 and the s1, right? So the first person goes for the 1 1 and then the second person also go for the 2 2. So you just need to place them in what? In your definition. So y2 here, it will give you what? The 2 here, and then y1, remember y1, so surname to surname, right? Y1 is here, so y1 is what? Is the 0 that we are having here, and the y2 is the 2 here. So we are just replacing. Okay, so that is what? 2 minus 0 divided by what? X2. So s2 is the what? The first name of the second person here. That is what? 0 here minus of 5, which is what? The x1. So the first name of what? The first person. So 0 minus 2, sorry, 2 minus 0 divided by 0 minus 5. That should be what? 2 over what? Minus 4. So this is how simple you have to use this one to solve the problem here. Now the second one also says that you have these two guys, right? You have P and a Q. So you have to use the same approach in solving that. They say you find the gradient of that. Sometimes the gradient we can represent that by what? M, right? So this is just a gradient by name of M. So, okay. Now by the same approach, the reason why I brought this question is that you see that there's a negative here, there's a negative, so don't be confused with that. So the same approach, as I know that the gradient is what? Y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus what? S1. So my y2 is what? Minus 2 here, and then the y2 giving what? 6 here. So minus 2 minus what? 6 here divided by the x2. So what is the x2? S2 is what? 2, sorry, S2 is 3, and then the x1 is what? Minus 2. Don't be confused with that minus here. So minus here, by definition, I know that there's a minus here. So minus of what's the x1? S1 is what? Minus 2. That's why I brought the bracket here. Okay, when you do a calculation, you should arrive at what? Minus 8 over 5, right? Okay, so the same approach. This is how you have to solve this type of problem. Whatever you come across, they say find the gradient and give you what? Any 2 points. So look at something. Here's a very nice one. I guess you should pause the video and try this type of problem and come back and check the solution. So the solution to this will give you what? That is what? The y2. You know that the gradient is y2 minus 1, and that is the surname to the surname, and then the first name over what? The first name. So my y2 here will give you 5 minus what? Minus what? There's a minus here already, so minus what? Minus 3 here divided by what? 2 here, which is the x2 minus of the x1. So if you are confused, you can just name it like that. So this will be my x1 and then y1. So the first person goes for the 1, the second person goes for the sorry, here should be what s2 y2, right, for easy understanding. Okay, so this guy here will give me 5 minus 3 here, that should be positive, right? So that give me 8, and then look at something, 2 minus 2 should be what, 0. It's okay, 8 divided by 0, which is not possible, right? It's not possible for you to divide a number by what, 0, so we call it not defined or undefined, right? So when you have something like that, don't be confused that you are not getting a number here. It's not always the case that you should get a number once you know exactly what you are doing. All right, so the next one says that we have a p to be 6, 7, and then q to be x, 8. Right, they say you should find the gradient, or you should find and you are giving the gradient from the question to be what, 1/3, right? And they say you should find the value of this guy here, the x here. Is that okay? So by my assumption, this should be the first name of what, the second guy, right? So the first name of what, the second guy. Is that okay? They say you should find this. How do you do that? We know that the gradient of what, any 2 points is given by y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus y1. So that's the difference in the surname divided by the difference in the first name. Okay, that is my y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus y. Don't be confused. Just go according to what you know. This is what we know. We know that the gradient, this is what we call the gradient, right? So this is what you have to use in solving that. So the gradient here, we are giving the 2 points. So which one is the y2? Y2 here is what? The 8 here, and then minus y1, that is the 7. So that is how I got the 8 minus 7 here, divided by the x2. x2 will be this guy, right? This guy here, this guy will be my x2. So that's what will be x minus what? Which one will be the x1 here? x1 will be what? The 6 from the question. Okay, so the 6. Now what do you know? We know that the gradient, I said earlier on that m can be used to represent what, the gradient here. So m is equal to what, 8 minus 1 divided by x minus 6, right? Remember that you are giving the gradient in the question to be what, 1/3. Is that okay? You are giving the gradient to be what, 1/3 here. So you just need to replace that. So you know that the gradient is equal to this guy. Is that okay? The gradient is equal to this guy. That is the y2 minus y1 divided by s2 minus s1. So the gradient, this is the gradient, is equal to what, 1/. So when you do this calculation, it should give you 1/what, x minus 6, right? You cannot subtract this since this is what, something that we don't know, but we know that this is a number, so we leave it as it is. So from here, you should know how to solve this type of problem here. You should know how to solve this type of problem by doing what, cross multiply. So that guy will multiply this guy, and then this one will also multiply that, right? So this guy to that guy, right? And then here to here, right? The cross multiply. So when you multiply, you should have what, 1 multiplied by x minus 6, that is equal to 3 multiplied by 1. So here is your duty to solve this, the value of x. That is exactly what we are looking for. So here, this place will give me what, 6 minus x is equal to 3. So this guy will cross the equal sign, or you can add 6 to the both side of the equation. That should be what, x is equal to what, 3 plus 6. So exactly x is equal to 9 here. So this is how simple you have to use the gradient. So this is the guy, right? This is the key here. So you have to use this guy to solve all type of problem that concerning 2 points. They say you should find the gradient of those 2 points. So thank you for watching this.